So we're back at it again. Another runway fashion review. This time it is Vetements, and it is their spring summer 2025 show. So I actually haven't looked too much into Vetements. Vetements, what the fuck? No, but I've wanted to for a minute now, but I've just been busy trying to gather a whole bunch of info for some other videos that I'm like trying to do. So we're gonna go off of their description here, or their, I guess you could say, caption that's in their description here. So it says, in response to a world where luxury fashion is under unprecedented pressure, Vetements presents its spring summer 2025 collection. I mean, in a world where luxury fashion's under, I mean, yeah, I could see that, but with the collections that are being put out, you wouldn't think so. Okay. But it says it's inspired by a global economic downturn, a consumer base that's increasingly wary of uncontrolled consumption. The collection is a statement on the need to rethink what fashion means in a world where the old systems are crumbling. I'm gonna be honest with you, that sounds very appealing. Like, it sounds like we're gonna see something innovative. But I really don't like when fashion houses, again, I think I've mentioned this before, put out collections that are lackluster and then they try to pull out a whole, like, Pride and Prejudice long explanation as to why, oh no, here's all this meaning and here's all this meaning and here's all that. Like, everybody's opinion on what fashion is really supposed to do and represent is different, but I just feel like in terms of art in general, like, fashion is considered an art form. In terms of art in general, if you just do something and then you have to provide this like 6 degrees of separation ass explanation to basically justify why you have certain things where they are, I feel like the art is redundant. And maybe that like impedes on subjective opinion, but like, come on now. Like, I'm not gonna paint a wall blue and then be like, oh yeah, no, but this is actually supposed to represent people's tears and how tears are like water and water is so, vast, just like the ocean, and the ocean is blue. Like, you know what I mean? Like, come on now. And I know, we haven't even watched the collection and we haven't even finished reading this, so it sounds like I'm tearing into Vetman's collection, but I'm just saying that in a general sense. But anyway, let's continue on. So, set inside a semi abandoned mall, okay. Collection draws on the ethos of make new out of old. Okay, okay. An approach where existing wardrobe pieces are reworked and given new life speaks to a future where consumers no longer have the means to participate in relentless, interesting word choice there, relentless luxury consumption. Instead, they turn to DIY, creating unique conceptual pieces from what remains. Okay. Hmm. Luxury stores or stores are closed. Opulent past of luxury fashion is bankrupt both financially and creatively. I'm honestly, I will tear into this collection if there's a bit of a contradiction with this statement. I'm not gonna lie to you. It's about taking what's left, repurposing it, and challenging the idea that new always means better. It's about claiming back something that belongs to you, falling in love with it again. I'm gonna be real with you guys. Again, we haven't seen the collection yet, so we're gonna see. But this really sounds like, again, 6 degrees of separation ass collection. But again, we'll see. We'll see. Pieces turned upside down, twisted, remolded. Pants turned into Nito jackets and coats. Plissé skirts, twisted to new proportions. Duvets, newspapers become gowns. 12, oh no, spelling era. Era. Well, me too. Anyway, 12 wedding gowns are merged into one mega wedding dress for a final look. Okay. Well, let's see. All right, here we go. Already love it. Love the production. Already love it. It's kind of, oh my god, I was gonna say ass eating, but kind of kissing ass already. But like no, like we need more. Even if it's something super simple, still we need more theatrics back in all kinds of art forms. Anyway, though. Okay, this is low key what I was fearful of. So far, I'm not really impressed. Um, like I said, I really felt like that explanation, especially with everything that's going on right now, I feel like that caption in the description was like a convenient one. Um, of course, I don't know the operating, you know, standards of what's going on behind these fashion houses as much as I wish I did. Trust me, I'm gonna get there. But like that explanation, I kind of already felt like it was going to be almost like an excuse to basically put what looks like half finished work on a runway. Now it's not to insult the creative director, but it's just like again, I know that at the end of the day, the creative director, even though they have a say over what happens, they still also have their own employers that they have to answer to. So let's not obviously forget the business side of things. But like just hearing that, like, or just reading that explanation in the description, I was like, oh, this already feels like you're just gonna see something thrown together, and then we're just supposed to believe that it's this new inspired take on reconstructed outfits and DIY, takes and stuff like that. Like again, it's not to insult the creative director at all, but it just feels like a convenient excuse for lazy work. Especially considering that Gigi Hadid's look, let me go back here, like right here. This look is not particularly unique whatsoever, like not at all. But like come on, like this is Balenciaga and the yellow caution tape like all over again. So anyway, let's continue on. Let me go back here. Like bruh. And now listen, I'm very much aware of the fact that Vetements is not like Chanel, it is not like Gucci, every fashion house has its different codes that it sticks to, has its different baseline that it sticks to, has its own vision that it sticks to. So again, like I said, you're not going to see something that is like Schiaparelli coming out of Vetements per se, but like come on, like this is what I'm talking about, you know what I mean? Like come on now. Like maybe there's more intricate work that I'm not seeing, my untrained eye, but like this is a baggy t-shirt and what looks like jeans with socks. on a high fashion runway. Like, surely we can do a little bit better than that. I know, like, low key, sometimes when I'm watching fashion shows, you can kind of tell what pieces are kind of just there to fill out the full roster. So I don't really fault fashion designers or creative directors for doing that, especially considering they're having to like push out collection after collection. But like again, come on, like come on, exactly what the fuck I'm talking about. Also, don't even get me started on the dehumanization and then subsequent commodification of certain parts of Black American culture, but then also certain things that they would demonize Black Americans for. Let's not even get into that, but we will, maybe in another video. And also, another thing, like I said, I know runway stylists are a thing, but was one present in the back? Like, was one present in the back, really? I don't think so. Anyway, also, this is another thing. First of all, I have not said that I've liked a single outfit. Just take note of that. Well, also, and again, it's not like I'm some kind of professional editor, but I feel like, and maybe this was done on purpose, but I feel like they, not like choppy, but this like weird paste editing, like it's not really a good viewership experience. And like, I shouldn't talk. Many of my videos are mad fucking choppy too. But, like this is a fashion house. This is a business, you know what I mean, with resources. And I don't know, like I just feel like even when it comes to the most like somewhat minute things, um I just feel like you could really just put maximum effort, and I just feel like this wasn't that. And again, maybe it's done on purpose, but I don't know, it just kind of looks weird. But anyway, okay, even though I haven't liked any of the outfits, I will point out something that is obviously important here that signifies what their collection was going for. Obviously, here, let's go back here. You see with this look, not this one, you see obviously the whole like, oh, we're reusing, we're all about not throwing your old items away. Instead, it's all about how can you preserve something and then make it new. So you see this like duplication of these shirts or of these singlets. And obviously, this one here has a tag on it, kind of speaks to that whole like, why buy a whole nother one when you could find something new, something DIY to do with the thing that you already have. So I see that here in that outfit or in this outfit. I wonder if that's what he was going for. And by he, I mean the creative director. And then, of course, also here, you see like more tags as well. Let's continue on. Like, genuinely, what is happening? I'm not even trying to make fun of the models. Never that. But, like, what? Like, come on. Like, what? Or what are we talking about, actually? Like, come on now. Guys, like, again, obviously, I'm not behind the scenes. I will be, though, one day. But, like, what? And again, I know some people are probably gonna be like, oh, well, that's Vetman. I mean, come on. Like, just like, come on. And I think again, you kind of see what it is here in terms of the whole like DIY. I hope that you guys noticed many of these pieces that obviously, and again, this is probably the intention, but you can still do something intentionally with it looking good. You see how again there's this tag here. It's obviously connected to what looks like maybe a sweater, maybe a shirt, maybe even just like some sort of long sleeved dress, very short dress, but it's obviously been repurposed, as is DIY procedures. It's been repurposed here. You can see how the sleeves go around here to create the straps. Again, there's a tag on it. I mean, there's even another dress where you can kind of tell how it's two dresses sewn into one. I mean, there's this one here, again, tag on it with a dress stitched to the front. Let me see if I can find the next one. Yeah, here we go. Two-tone gown that obviously looks like it was stitched together down the middle. Like again, this isn't a bad execution of what their description was going for. I just feel like it could have been executed better. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like these are supposed to be professionals and they are professionals. And you're like, I literally have no room to talk. One day I will though. Trust me. But like I don't know, I just feel like so far this definitely could have been executed better. I don't know, maybe I'll like add in my own designs of like what I think, this really full conception should like look like. But for now, we continue on. Where were we? Like dead ass again. Oh my god, I'm not even trying to be fucking funny. But like that, like we have to be serious. Come on now. And I mean, I would understand. You know what I hate? Oh my gosh, you know what I hate is when somebody does something and it literally means fucking nothing. Like it makes no sense. But then the viewer, and this typically happens with movies and TV shows, the viewer will then have to like make something up to rationalize whatever was shown like in that movie or TV show, and then people are like, no, you're literally just like making excuses almost for the lack of any sort of thoughtful consideration in the making of whatever that thing is. So I say all that to say, if again their description was all about highlighting like mass consumption and the effects of overconsumption, even, I definitely see how putting corporate logos on the clothes coming down kind of makes sense, but it doesn't make sense because, at least to my understanding, from what I know, Monster is an energy drink brand. So what the fuck is the point of it being here? Like what are we actually doing? But let's continue on. Gorgeous, gorgeous girls. Brr. Again, same concept. It's almost like two garments stitched into one. You see the tag here. Like we get it. We get rid of that. Guys, I'm sorry to report, I have not liked a single outfit in this video. And I mean, I guess my opinion low key means nothing at the end of the day. But like what's going on? Like I don't know, like sometimes symbolism or what you're trying to convey doesn't always have to be too on the nose, but I just mean like I don't know, like their description, it somewhat matches up with what's being displayed, but like not really. It just feels like, again, like it just kind of feels like a convenient way to say, oh, let's just put a bunch of torn up clothes that have been haphazardly stitched together on a runway, and then we'll just say it's because of like this long explanation. I don't know. Well, let's continue. Also, catch that in the back. Like, hold on. Sorry. And I don't mean it's like sorry to this model. I don't mean to draw attention to this, but I mean this is a public video, so but catch this. Right here. Right here, right here, right here. Did you see that? Let me rewind it one more time for you. Right there. If you didn't catch that, she was trying to pull her dress down. Now I understand, again, the clothes on the runway are not always like made to fit. Sometimes, things happen at the last second. You just have to make it work. But I really, really hate this weird attitude in the fashion world where it's like models are just walking clothes hangers. And I mean, some people be like, well, yeah, that's literally what they are. Shut up. I really just don't like seeing stuff like this. Like, I remember Valentino, for a couple years, their models were always fucking falling because of how badly the shoes fit. And the fit was not at all. Like, you've got to be serious. Like, again, I mean, it's just like a walk down the runway and then you're done. But I just don't like seeing stuff like that, especially because I feel like it's like one of those details that basically degrades the overall quality of the fashion show. Like, again, the business side of things, like it doesn't even matter the business side of things, like they prep these things months in advance. Like, that's how fashion works. I just feel like stuff like this shouldn't really be happening, especially from established fashion houses. And that's just my take. Like, again, what are we doing? This is obviously a comforter or a blanket, some people might say. Like, again, I get it, but it's just kind of lazy to me. Same thing with, like, what? Gorgeous, gorgeous model, not so gorgeous, gorgeous clothes. Like, what? Low key, do you ever think that models, whenever they are seeing what they're gonna wear, do you ever think that they're just like, oh wow, this is fucking ugly? If I was a model, I would definitely think that for a lot of things. But anyway, also, hold on, this is a weird thing to say, but I'm just gonna add this in here. Look at what's happening here. Look at what's happening. Look what's happening. Look what's happening. What's happening is a bunch of phones are out, and I don't really mind that when it comes to fashion. I think if I ever got invited to a fashion show, cough cough, Scarparelli, Mugler, I don't know, maybe invite me. But if I ever got invited to a fashion show, especially if it was my first one, I think I would definitely be taking pictures. But I just feel like people having their phones out and viewing the clothes through their screen instead of actually looking at it with their eyes also degrades the overall quality of the show. I feel like so many more fashion shows. Like, I know The Row actually did this where they did a phone ban where it's like you cannot have your phone out during the show. I wholeheartedly support that. And if anything, I really feel like it would be even cooler if a fashion house, knowing that people want to have pictures, I guess, of the clothes, even though obviously it's available online. I think what would be a cool concept, even if a fashion house just did it once, was to maybe have like booklets or some sort of book of the clothes, like all kinds of pictures of the clothes. Oh, I have so many cool concepts for fashion shows that I really want to like execute. Like, I really want to be a fashion show creative director. That sounded weird. What the fuck? No, but I want to be like, a set director. Like I want to plan the behind the scenes creative aspects for the executions of these fashion shows. So essentially it's like fashion production. Like that's kind of the stuff, or that's some of the stuff that I also really want to do, because I just feel like, again, it's not really anything wrong with it, but I don't know. I think it would, I don't know. I just don't think people should have their phones out so much. But I understand wanting to capture the moment. Okay, hold on. So this outfit is ugly, but the hair, the model, the bob, the bangs, the lip color, okay. Give her her tens. Give her her tens. Because I will. Give her her tens. Even just the aura, as they say, her aura. Like, oh my god, what do they say? What do these weird, these weird people on TikTok say? Max 100 aura or whatever. It's making the outfit look good, even though the dress is fucking ugly. Give her a tens. So I think so far the only two outfits that I've actually really liked are these two. Sorry, that weird sound probably was me scratching my head. Um, Literally scratching my head in confusion at this collection. Um, well, yeah, I think these are the only two like outfits that I've actually liked so far, and I think it's because I just favor long drapey silhouettes. Besides the shoulder pads, which I don't really understand how that fits to the theme. I guess it's just for the look. But I just mean I feel like the shoulder pads are a bit redundant. But overall, the outfit is nice. Both colors, by the way. Also, this is what I'm talking about. Like, do you see her action here? Like, let me go back for you. Like, do you just see that throw of the hands to obviously lift up the cape of the outfit? I think I said this in another video. Like these small parts of theatrics, this is what needs to be brought back to runways, in my opinion, especially fashion houses that are major fashion houses that are big players in the fashion world. I'm not gonna like compare Vetements to again like Chanel or like Dior or something, but you know what I'm saying. Um, and I just feel like these, whether it be small or big moments of theatrics, there needs to be like overall set production to also reflect that and work in cohesion with it. Like if you were to ask me, I love the idea of having the fashion show in a semi abandoned warehouse, as they said. I feel like I would plan the layout completely different. Like it's in a warehouse, which could have easily been maybe like a department store, a closed down mall, but I mean warehouse is kind of, I guess I would say like a definitive space, but you could still design it to look like an abandoned mall, an abandoned department store. Like again, the whole fashion, their whole like explanation. I sound like I'm low-key getting heated, but like I'm just saying, like I just feel like there's a more interesting way to execute these things. And I feel like again, this abandoned warehouse space, they could have outfitted it to look like a mall, to look like an abandoned mall. And if you really wanted to make it look interesting, I feel like it could be like, again, big malls, they have all these different department stores within them. They have all these different, I guess you would say like outlet stores within them. You could have the whole place outfitted so that either the models are within the stores, like quote unquote, they're within the stores, and obviously there's a way to see them, through glass, through even, how mannequins stand up in the window displays. You could even have something like that, like showcasing the models, and then almost do like a reverse fashion show, and instead have your audience walk around to see the models in there. And then even within those displays, there could be little things of like theatrics going on. You could even do something like, with the models in the display windows, some members of the Vetmon team are actively piecing together the clothes to showcase, the whole idea of DIY, or the whole idea of repurposing your clothing. Like, I just feel like that would be very interesting. Or again, if it wasn't like a reverse runway type of thing, I'm about to yap here, so buckle up. But if it wasn't a reverse runway type thing, it could also be, again, same concept, outfitted to look like an abandoned mall. Clothes are strewn everywhere because that's what happened. Like, that's literally a big conversation about fashion waste. It's just clothes that go everywhere and essentially act as mess, clutter. So you could have that as a part of the set design. You could then have, again, the models walking through, showcasing all these pieces that are supposed to be like repurposed, seeing how it contrasts to the clothes that are abandoned just like on the floor, still having it look like a mall, and then have your audience maybe be the ones to be outfitted into having their seats into like department stores. Do you understand what I'm saying? Obviously, this would probably be easier to understand if I had like a storyboard. Maybe I'll start doing that. Um, but I just feel like, again, like there's so many more interesting ways to execute these kinds of things. And that's not to take away from obviously the hard work that people do into what has already been displayed. But I don't know, I just feel like, like, just like go for it. You know what I mean? Just like go, like, what do they say? Oh my god, those weird white kids, full send or whatever. Like, just go for it. You know what I mean? So again, I know I just like did a whole little spiel, but yeah, like these little or big moments of theatrics also need to be enhanced by the set design. And I don't feel like the set design is doing that. Well, that's just me. I've seen the end of this show before, so I'm actually gonna skip ahead to what is like the final look. Sorry, I'm like like messing with it here. Okay, here we go. Okay, I guess I kind of have to take back what I just said. Literally just lied to you for like maybe 2 to 3 fucking minutes. I guess I guess I like this look. The final looks for fashion shows, which are typically like the bride look, those usually look pretty good. Usually. This one is one of those ones. Again, you can definitely still see how it's different dresses that are sewn together still fits the whole, repurpose, DIY, all these kinds of things that they're saying that they're going for. Of course, Anok Yai here, ever so beautiful in the gown. So I guess overall, I mean, not overall, it's not over yet, but so far, not even so far, this is the end. Yeah, this is probably the only outfit, or those other two. No, I did mention those other two before. Yeah, so those two and this one, the only outfits that I like so far. So far, overall. Now, watch what Anuk Yoi just did there. Did you see that? Let me play it one more time for the people in the back. Do you see what I'm talking about? And if you're not on fashion social media, I'm kind of like getting into it. Um, then you probably did not hear about this, or maybe you did even. Anuk Yoi was not supposed to do that. She was not supposed to run like that, but she decided to because the dress was obviously very big and very long, so it was making it hard. Oh, pause. Like, whoa. Sorry. Let me get my mind out of the gutter. Anyway, the dress was obviously very big, poofy, and very long, so she decided to pick up the dress and then run. And she talked about how when she got backstage, she was really, really stressed because she was like, oh crap, I fucked up the show. Like, I was not supposed to do that. But the creative director was like, no, like, you literally elevated it. I didn't even think to do that. Like, oh, that was perfect. Da, 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 da. That is what I'm talking about. These small moments of theatrics is what really brings like an outfit together. It's what really brings a fashion show together. And again, I think I said this already. Like, I don't like the whole models are just hangers type thing. I really don't like that. And I feel like when we inject theatrics back into fashion runways, we really subvert that idea, and it still makes for like an interesting viewing experience. And in my personal opinion, it breathes more life into the clothes. Like, it really does. Like, I think I'm like working on a I think fucking uh fuck it. Whoa. Me trying to speak English. Um anyway, uh I think it's Givenchy, which is another video that I'm working on. And when I was watching that video and as I'm editing it right now, the only thing I was thinking of is how that collection portrays a certain lifestyle. To me, obviously each collection, just like with the description that we saw earlier, it's meant to convey certain things, but most fashion runways are meant to convey a certain lifestyle. Like, I mean, that's why they have, what did they call it? um oh my god, why am I not remembering it? Oh my god, it's like on the tip of my tongue too and I can't remember it. Okay, well, I'll leave it there. But that's why they have all these different collections that showcase like different lifestyles, you know what I mean? And each brand, obviously, each fashion house has its own, like I said, codes that it sticks to. It has its own origin story. Many of the pieces of fashion houses are influenced by their original creators, so of course it's then influenced by the original creator's background as well, so on and so on. But I just think, like, in general, again, the overall idea of clothes conveying a message, this also falls like under, or I guess into conveying a lifestyle. And for me, this collection didn't really do either. Like, it didn't really convey a message. Or I mean, even if it did, it's like a very on the nose message, and in my personal opinion, was not executed well. So message was kind of lost, and lifestyle. I mean, let's be serious. And again, this is no shade to the creative director, But there are people doing at home DIYs that could have probably put something together that was more interesting than this runway. Like I just don't think this was that great. And again, every person doing their job has an off day or even off days, plural. So I'm not gonna be like, oh, he fucking sucks, because that's not really fair. But yeah, like this collection was not it. The message felt very much like an excuse. Oh, we're gonna just put out something haphazardly, and then here's what we're trying to convey, and we have to give you this long ass explanation because the clothes practically mean nothing. Like, okay. Overall, that collection, I'm giving it a 2.5 out of 10. Actually, no, I'll actually give it. I'll give it a 4.5 out of 10 actually, because now that I think about it, there were some pieces that I didn't mind, and I'll go back here right now. These dresses here, I mean, I love the look of mini dresses no matter what. So, but these dresses right here, let me actually just click through. Like you see this one, it was typically the ones that were like 2 or 3 garments sewn into one. So like this one here, I think I talked about that one earlier. This one here, the cheetah print. I hope that's cheetah, or is that, oh, whatever. The cheetah print per. Like these looks were also pretty good. I think again, overall styling could have just been better. Like it made sense. Like the duplicated looks, like this one with the tags still hanging on. Again, the two or more pieces sewn into one. Like it all makes sense, but it's just like, it's like you're trying to say something without really saying anything at all. You know what I mean? I just feel like I'm really, again, there's so many fashion houses out here. There's so many fashion shows going on all at once. So it's not like you're going to be everywhere. So I probably shouldn't say like, oh, nobody else has put out something that's like defining yet. Um but I'm just like really trying to think about the last like big moment. Not big moment per se, but just like an item from a collection that really like went viral, and not even going viral, but just was something that really appealed to people. And I know some people will probably say like, "Oh, Bella Hadid's Coperni moment with the spray-on dress." I have my own opinions about that. None of it really has to do with Bella Hadid, but I'm gonna keep that to myself about Coperni, or at least until I make a video about it. Um, but yeah, people are probably gonna think that. Like, no, like that's not really something that's like a defining moment to me. That's not really something that's, people are calling that iconic. I don't consider that iconic, and that's no shade to Bella Hadid specifically. I just don't consider that iconic. Was it cool? Yeah. Iconic? No. We need to stop throwing that word around so loosely. But also, again, like this or the last moment that I could really think of was the Versace platform pumps. And like the ones. Like that was, I feel like that was the last, in my, like from my viewpoint, and you can totally correct me if I'm wrong. I feel like that was the last like singular fashion item that came from a major player that people were like gagged over. Like, and just after that, and even after that, people were like, oh, now it's not as special because, oh, everybody likes it and it's too mainstream. Like that's dumb. That's really ridiculous. But I feel like that was like the last item that people were really gagged over. I'm not really gonna count Schiaparelli because Schiaparelli always puts out really cool things. Like every single piece of their outfits on the runway are amazing and typically always go viral. So like I'm not really gonna include them because they always execute well. But I think just again in terms of a singular item, even one or more items going viral from a fashion house's collection, like those Versace platform pumps are the only ones that I can think of at the moment. So, like, yeah, this collection, 4.5 out of 10. The models were gorgeous. The creative director, I guess, did a thing. Just overall, the collection was not really it. I get the message that they're trying to convey, and there's nothing wrong per se with it being too on the nose, quote unquote, too on the nose. But you shouldn't try to use a long explanation to make up for what is a lackluster collection. Because it's like, what's the point of me watching the show if I could just read the collection or read the caption that's in the description and be like, okay, I guess that's what their message is. Because again, what's the point of me watching the show to see the clothes if they're not really, really conveying that message? Like, you could just tell me what the clothes are supposed to mean instead of me, quote unquote, wasting my time to watch it. And I guess that sounds like pretty harsh words, but life is harsh. So what? No, I'm just kidding. But yeah. Anyway, I guess that's it for now. Bye.